And the fight went from a gross misdemeanor battery to attempted murder, like that.
To this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got PeeWee.
Rocker, it started like right here.
Yeah.
Like right about chest level, and it went all the way around.
I've seen the picture, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get up on the stage there, and I'm standing there, and Ferry goes, "We thank you all." You know, they're woo, they're all screaming in the crowd. Yeah, they're all yelling out and shit. And we thank you guys for inviting us, and and having a party. We thank everybody. Now, my brother from Las Vegas, Nevada, America wants to talk. And when he says that, the crowd goes crazy. I just thought, God damn you, man. I just told you I didn't want to talk. So, bro, that wasn't even an embarrassing part. He hands me the mic. I go, "How we doing out there?" I'm like the MC guy now, bro. I just picked up. It's like you just said, I'm easy to talk to. Yeah. Like, "Hey, what's going on? You guys having a good time?" And they're like, "Hey!" And this is the funny part starts. I go, "Hey, I just want to thank, I forgot the name of the motorcycle club that invited us."
Oh, God.
Swear to God, bro. I just went brain dead. I forgot their names. And they're all standing there looking at me. I said, "Yeah, man, we want to thank," and I was kind of looking around. I'm thinking, "Oh my God, what's their names?" And I couldn't ask somebody. They would have heard me on the mic. One of the guys in the front that was wearing a patch turned around and walked like to the back to get some. I saw his back. I said, "The Iron Wings!" Everybody started clapping. I should have jumped out and shook that guy's hand and said, "Thank you for turning around." So when we got done, I put the mic down and I said, "Thank you, everybody." And they're all, so the guy's trying to do a burnout on that bagger and he keeps flying forward. So he's got like 5 guys standing in front of him, holding the front of the bike, which is very dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bike gets weighed, somebody's going to get hurt. And I walk up to him and I says, "What do you want to do a burnout?" And he shakes his head, "Yeah, I said, "Get off. I'll show you how to do a burnout, So he gets off the bagger, man. And I get on that some bitch. I put in second gear and I let the clutch out. I'm holding the brake with my hand, right? The front brake. And that tire starts smoking. Boom, I shift her in the third. Bro, I smoked the whole place out. Everybody's, they're screaming and yelling. And I was doing it right there on dry pavement, And I said, the tire's clicking. I said, BAM! Yeah, the tire blows out. Yeah. Now, bro, it probably took that guy months to pay for a new tire. Down there to get a motorcycle tire for a Harley.
Yeah.
So I felt bad. I mean, really, bro, I wasn't trying to do that. And when I blew the tire, I got off and I thought, oh, man, I should just give a guy $100 bill and say, "Hey, man, go get yourself a tire," But when I got off, I thought, man, if he's too stupid, he don't know how to do a burnout, I'm not going to pay him for his tire and shit. And I just got out to him, "Sorry, man." I pat him on the back and he was trying to think how to get the bike out of there, because it's 800 pounds. So it was a full bagger. And I walked in the other room, and that's when I told Ferry and those guys, You guys, man, you got to stop with these guys ain't us. So listen how weird this is, bro. We go to leave, and there's me, Freddie, Ferry, Ralph, another Freddie from Luxembourg, and then I think we had his name was Dennis. He was a young kid. That was it. 6 of us, 6 or 7 of us. There might have been one more guy. I can't think. But we go to the airport, and this is going to blow your mind, man. We go to the airport, we walk through it, and we got to walk through the metal detectors and all that shit, right? So we got our patches on, man. We walk right through the metal detectors. Nothing goes off. Even though I had gold pins and I had like 1% pin on me, it was all gold with diamonds in it.
Yeah.
It didn't go off or anything. So we get in the back room, man. We're sitting back there, Staxx, and there's like a bunch of Muslim guys there. You know, they all had the white hats on, the white outfits, going all the way down to the floor. And there's about 20 of them. And there were 7 of us, and we got in the back there. We're sitting like this on the bench, and all of a sudden Ralph goes, "What the hell?" He looks in his top pocket. Swear to God, bro. It was a buck knife. It was like probably about this big, closed, about that big opened.
Oh shit.
It was a big buck knife. Oh, bro, it was a big sticker. And it was stuck on a hook in its front pocket. We just went through security. So here's what I'm saying, bro. I'm thinking, if that got through, what else got through?
Yeah.
You know, and we're in this more or less terrorist country. We're just sitting there, and they all get down on the board. They all start praying. And I was just sitting there, bro. And I take my phone out like this, and I take a picture of them. Dude jumps up, runs over. "You cannot take our picture. You capture our soul. I have to have your camera." That's why I'm not giving you my camera, because my camera's my phone. I ain't giving it to you. And he said, you must give it to me. I says, "Go fuck yourself. I ain't giving it to you. Beat it." And he turns around, he said, whoop, they all jump up, right? With no hesitation, my guys jump up. I didn't have to turn around and go, "Hey, you got some shit going on here." They're already up, bro. Ready to go. And I already knew one of my guys had a knife.
Yeah.
But hey, what did they have? Who knows, right?
Oh man.
So
they all open their jackets and full of bombs.
Exactly. And we're all just standing there staring at each other, and then all of a sudden you hear them call out on the tarmac the plane they were getting on. We were getting on a different plane. They call them out, and he looks at me. He just kind of nods his head like, "You son of a bitch." And they all start walking, and they walked outside, and I saw them walking across, and they went up the stairs. You know, there's no walkways. You got to go up a tarmac and walk up the stairs. It's old school there, man. And when he went to the door, just before he walked out, he did one of these to me, Staxx. He got to the door, he turns and he goes,
Wow.
"Hey, give me the old." And he did it with his mouth. He went, "Oh, you shot me."
What did your boy do with the knife?
He didn't even pull it out yet. He was waiting.
No, did he take it with him on the plane, or did he ditch it?
No, he took it on the plane. Well, hey, we're already through security.
Yeah.
So
I mean, getting off, they really don't mess with you.
No, we landed in Turkey. We have a charter in Turkey. They had 2 charters in Turkey. And we landed in Turkey, and then, you know, there was nothing. I mean, I had to sign like a visa thing, you know, because being in America. But the German guys, they go there all the time. So we went through, and then we went to the Turkey clubhouse, and we stayed there for about a week. And we partied with those guys. And the president, who was down in Turkey, he was a really cool dude. He was a heavy hitting dude. You know what I mean? He was like, had a lot of clout. Yeah. And he ran an Audi dealership. You know, he owned a bunch of Audi cars, had a whole dealership. And their clubhouse, man, bro, their clubhouse was so beautiful. White marble floors, white leather furniture inside. I mean, bro, living quarters outside for the maid and the gardener. He cut the grass, trimmed the hedges. I'd get up at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'd come down. If I turned the light on, bro, and I was looking around in the refrigerator for something to eat, she'd come in her bathrobe, the maid lady, and she couldn't speak English. But she goes, well, I take what you want. Like, all I had to tell her what I want. She would have made it for me. Yeah, if I turn the light on, I try not to turn the light on. I just open up the refrigerator door. And the food was so horrible anyway, bro. I just, pizza made with goat's milk, man, it just don't cut it for me, It's like watery shit. And but they had the maid, the servant, and the house was red, had the big white pillars like the White House in the front. Yeah. I think I put a picture of it in my my book. And it was one of those places, I swear to God, Staxx, I would have called up MTV and had them come there. I would open up the door and said, welcome to my crib. That's how bad it was,
Yeah, yeah.
Because of white marble floors. And then they had pictures of all the brothers on the walls. And they were full pictures, full, big, giant pictures of them. There was one brother there that had his teeth filed and he had perfect fangs, and, he's showing those fangs off. But they had a pretty cool charter. And it was, man, they had tennis courts, basketball courts in the back, a swimming pool with two big giant screens over it, right? Like TV screens, not TV screens. They were like motion picture screens. They were white, and they would project on them.
Oh, the projectors,
videos. Yeah, videos. And you'd be in the pool swimming, man, and music videos are playing. They had a DJ, bro. You thought you were at a club, man. And all of a sudden on the bottom was Club 81, and everybody's just partying, having a great time.
That's wild.
Bro, it was. And
how long did that whole trip last?
I think we stayed in Albania about 4 days, and I stayed in Turkey about a week, and then like another 2 days in Germany when I got back, and then I flew out of Germany.
So you stayed in the Las Vegas charter for 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
And that's the charter that you left, right?
Right. I quit. I just seen some punk that's in the club, and I call him a punk because the shit when they say shit like this, oh yeah, we threw that man out of the club. That dude was a guy that was in prison for selling drugs in the clubhouse, and he lost the clubhouse, and they were going to throw him out of the club when he got out of prison. I don't know why they didn't throw him out. Now he's in another charter. I seen on a post where he said, we threw that man out of the club. They didn't throw me out of the club. They should have threw him out of the club. But they didn't throw me out of the club. I quit. And then like 3-4 months later, they put me out in bad.
Do you want to explain what happened for them to even transpire? Like, so you end up you end up going to prison, right?
Yeah. When I went to prison, I was already out.
Do you want to explain what that was all about? What you went to prison for?
Yeah, I went to prison for a fight at a wedding chapel. My son was getting married. He was a prospect at the time. And the ceremony just ended, ready to walk out the door. Some of the guys already out. They were wearing patches. They were wearing Hell's Angel patches. Some of the guys were. Some were wearing dress shirts. Me, I was dressed up, it was my kid's wedding, so we were wearing real fancy dress-up clothes, and we just got done taking like family photos in there, and the guy says, okay, you guys, you can exit out this door here. Prospect comes in, he says, hey, we got some bad news. I said, what's up? He said, the Mongols are outside. And I just stood there for a minute, Staxx, and I was thinking, well, I said, what do you mean they're outside? He goes, they're outside and they're in the chapel in the hallway. See, we're in a little room.
They're already off their bikes in the place.
They didn't even come. Yeah, most of them weren't even on bikes. They all came in cars, and they kept saying how they were outnumbered by us because there's like 11 of us or 12 of us. They were saying that the 12 of us beat the poor two guys up. What really happened, Staxx, is when they showed up, they had like 12 guys. 5 of them took off running through the parking lot as soon as they saw the guys outside. And some chick yells out, "Go get the guns!" So like a joke in my book, I says, when she yelled, "Get the guns," who knew that those guns were in another state? Those guys were never coming back because they never came back. So they were only outnumbered because their guys ran. If they would have stayed, it would have been like even Steven.
No, what was the reason they were there? Do you know the reason
they were getting married? They were getting married.
Oh, so it was a coincidence that they crossed paths with you.
Yeah, but it was weird because the guy had cameras installed there a week before the wedding. That's a little weird. And I'm going to tell you another weird thing that you can take it any way you want, but when the cameras are involved and they show up, our wedding was at 12 o'clock. Theirs was at 1 o'clock. It was already like 20 after. The ceremony was done. We were leaving. They got there 45 minutes early. And in the preliminary hearing, they asked Zilla, the guy who was their president at the time, which, like Mooch said, they threw him out of the club because he snitched. And right in the paperwork, he went, "PeeWee beat me up." So he told on me. There was like 3 of them in the hallway, and I don't know how many. There was like 2, maybe 2 outside, something like that. So, yeah, they were outnumbered by the 11, 12 of us that was there. But when I stood there in that room, bro, I thought of any day in my life, why this day, right? Yeah. But I knew it was a Hell's Angel what I had to do, and I had to take care of this. So I just put my sunglasses down, and I said, guy goes, "What are we going to do, PeeWee?" I said, "There's only one thing we can do." And that's all I said, Staxx. There's only one thing we can do. And do you know that judge charged me with coercion? He told me, and that honestly, bro, that carried 60 to 120 months. And he said that was basically me ordering them to fight.
Well, they already knew what they were supposed to do. Like everyone knows what was going on at the time, right?
Right.
Didn't Laughlin already happen, right?
Right. And we beat that thing, so they weren't going to let my case go. They wanted me bad. So that's all I said, bro. Word for word on my skin, I said, there's only one thing we can do. So I turned around and went right out into the lobby, and they ran behind me, and they followed me. I walked out in the lobby. He turned his head to the side a little bit, and I saw him look at me out the corner of his eye. Dude, man, he went right into his pocket right away. So boom, 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 I start lighting him up. And
so you had a gun on you before you went.
No. I had nothing on me. I started punching him. Boom, boom, boom.
You started punching him.
I started punching him in the face. And a big buck knife falls on the floor. And he's reaching for it, and I grab him in a headlock, and I said, "You want that knife? You want it? Grab it." But in the meantime, I'm giving these haymakers from left field, man. Bam,
yeah, you're huge at the time, right?
You're his teeth the teeth are flying out like chitlets,
Is there fighting going on all around? Like everyone's fighting?
It was chaos. It was chaos. I didn't pay attention to what anybody was doing. I just focused on myself, I took him to the floor, and that's when I told him, I said, "No, you're going to get a beating, man." I gave him a good one. Because when I stood up, as my daughter said in one interview, she said, "Man, my dad got up, his face was covered in blood." It wasn't my blood, bro. It was his. My face was totally covered because somebody said, "Bro, you're bleeding bad." And then I took a towel, and I went like this, and I wiped my face off. There was nothing on it. I mean, it was clean. They're like, "You ain't got no cuts." I was like, "It was his." When I was hit, and every time I hit, it was splatter,
Wow.
But it got bad when one of the guys stuck him in the back after I knocked him out. He's laying on the ground. Why stab him?
And that was the time when the guy ran over and stabbed him when he was already down.
And then he stabbed another guy, and the fight went from a gross misdemeanor battery to attempted murder, like that. You know what I mean? So as you pull the trigger, you can't take back that shell. You pull a knife out, stab, you can't take it back.
No.
And I didn't see it. I'm being honest with you. I didn't see it until I saw the films. And he was clear as day. He showed him pulling out of his pocket, opening it up, and I was like, just shaking my head, like,
yeah.
man.
When you're watching that video, your heart probably dropped, right?
And yeah, and Staxx, he was the only one. He was one of the few wearing a full Hell's Angel patch.